So now and again we get a car consigned for auction. This one's coming in for the 22nd of September sale that divides opinion in the office, largely because some of the kids just don't know anything about them. This is a 1989 Mg Montego 2 litre EFI. Looks a bit nothing. Back in the day, they had a reputation for a little bit of reliability and for being rock boxes. However, now and again, and it is now and again, we come across a really good one. This one's done 66,000 miles. It's just flown through an MOT. I picked up and drove it over this morning and it put a huge smile on my face. So I'm challenging my young colleague Elliot to not enjoy driving this car. So Al, we're going to go around the block and see what you think, okay?
Okay.
Right, Elliot, so you've got a nice 5-speed manual gearbox.
Yep.
Yep, and a 2 litre EFI engine.
Is nice the word for the gearbox?
Yeah, it is a nice gearbox, this actually. Surprisingly nice.
Yep.
Not surprisingly because it's okay and I thought it was going to be awful. It is actually surprisingly nice. The clutch is lovely as well.
Yep.
Yeah, first gear might work better than it.
Well, you know.
Teach them how to drive as well as showing them these cars.
Teaching us how to drive.
So we picked a nice day for it.
I mean,
not going to have any trouble with wet leaves today, are we?
Couldn't have picked a warmer day for this, as we did with the Scirocco. It's swelteringly hot in here.
Yeah, nice 80s, no air conditioning car.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking so far?
It's quite nice.
So first of all, what were you expecting it to drive like?
I don't know. I mean, out of the few that I've driven now, the stuff from this era isn't as bad as you expect. So I wasn't.
Am I managing your expectations a little bit better these days?
Yeah, because the Scirocco was nice, the Golf was nice. This is quite good.
Well, it's a little ripper, I think, to be honest with you, and it took a lot of people by surprise back in the day at how good they were, and to be honest, how fast they are. You know, it's nippy, it's got plenty of pull. You whiz up and down the gears, the brakes are sharp, and the steering is really, really responsive. You know, it actually feels like quite a planted, dare I say, it's a quite sporty car.
It does. It actually does. Yeah, no, it's got a nice amount of go in it. The steering's not got a large amount of play, which you expect from half the cars of this age. No, it's a nice thing. Again, though, we come back to the point of, was it a great car, or is this just a really, really nice example?
This is a really, really nice example.
There you go.
Of a car that, in its defence, you know, was arguably a little bit underrated in its day.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, you know, there's an element of cool to the Golfs and the Scirocco's and you know, some of the other cars that you could buy back in that era for that money.
Yeah.
And this was, you know, it was a really steady Eddie, you know, I guess quite fast sort of family car. You know, it's 4 seats. You've got a few toys on it. It's got sunroof.
Yeah.
And I just think it was, you know, for the money, a particularly nice drive. I don't think there's anything sort of especially cool about driving them back then. But I think if you owned one, you realised what great value for money they were.
Yeah, a bit of an underdog.
Yeah, a little bit. And because of that, consequently, you know, because they were, you know, not always terribly reliable and they were prone to rot, there weren't a huge amount of them that have survived in this condition. I mean, this is, I know we overuse this term, but it is a little time warp, to be honest.
It is.
It
really is.
Yeah, I took it to the garage for an MOT and it flew past with absolutely no issues whatsoever. And it, you know, put a smile on everyone's face. There's a real nostalgia around these cars. Even if you didn't like them then, you remember them. And I don't know, is it nostalgia, or is it just that as I get older I start to appreciate cars that I enjoy driving?
It can't be nostalgia for me.
No, it can't. You're right,
this car's
actually.
10 years older than I am. So, you know,
Oh man, I feel old now.
Yeah, no, but it is genuinely.
Right, so if I said, Elliot, you're going to have to take this car home for the weekend, would you be gutted?
No.
Or would you be secretly quite pleased?
Honestly, I'd probably enjoy, on a weekend like this especially, I'd really enjoy this.
I think you could go to any sort of car meet or car show or Cars and Coffee Club and you know, put a lot of smiles on a lot of people's faces driving this.
Of course, definitely.
Right, so what's the verdict, Elliot? How would you sum it up?
A lot of fun for not a lot of money. Yeah, I'll probably just leave it there.
That'll do.
Yeah.
Well, we've converted into another one of the old 80s cars. Well done, El.